What the hell just happened? Just hit a rock. Should go. Let's go. Welcome back to It's About Hockey. I'm Mason, and tonight we're talking about Game 3 of Round 2. Am I doing that right? Or it's the other way. There we go. Of the Colorado Avalanche and Dallas Stars game, where the Dallas Stars take the lead in the series, go up 2-1. This one, if I'm going to be honest with you Avalanche fans, I think this performance might have been one of the worst performances from the Avalanche in their own building these playoffs. Hear me out. Don't jump to conclusions. I still really think you guys are a great team. I kind of expected a blowout to come from the Avalanche tonight. I thought the Stars were going to get molly-whopped tonight. And the game kind of started like that was going to be the case. But it wasn't. We're going to talk about it, but yeah, I Stars fans, I mean, you got to be happy with tonight's performance. If you are, hit that like button. Hit it, because I just went through, I watched all the highlights. I went through my notes. I went through stuff I observed in the game, and it was hard for me to find a flaw in tonight's performance from the Dallas Stars. So we're going to talk about it tonight. But if you are new to the channel, please consider hitting that like button, whether it be before this or during right now or after the video. I appreciate it. Please consider hitting that subscribe button, because we are talking about the playoffs. I'm trying to talk about all the games if I can help it without passing out. It's 11:45 right now, p.m. my time, so I get kind of tired around this time, right? So, yeah, please consider hitting those buttons because we are talking about the playoffs. And like I said, tonight we're talking about this game. So let's stop lollygagging and let's get to it. All right, like I say, the Stars defeat Avalanche in Game 3, take lead in the Western second round. Dallas Stars fans, again, bravo. Stick taps, golf claps, all that good shit for you guys and your team tonight. Let's look at the stats of the night. We're going to get to some highlights here and some observations I made, but let's just go through the facts really quick. Looking at the facts, Avalanche, your team came out, or Avalanche fans, your team came out flying. They were buzzing hardcore. I really thought you guys were going to get a quick one or a quick two right out of the gate, but it didn't happen. Oettinger still playing out of his mind. You guys did get really close. You did get really lucky, but obviously I think the Stars weathered the storm early on, and I think them doing that really threw your guys' game off tonight. You guys put up 11 shots to their 5 in the first period, and again 11-8 in the second period. At the end of the game, you guys went up 29-23. You guys have dipped. The Avalanche have dipped from their average of shots on goal prior to the last series. That's a talking point we're going to talk about in a little bit. Face off 50%, power play, no one scored tonight. Penalty minutes pretty even. Hits, Avalanche came through the body a little bit more. Block shots, I've talked about it a million times. You got to do on the road. Obviously the Stars did tonight. Giveaways, that was one of your issues tonight. The Avalanche had tonight. Takeaways, giveaways, pretty even. The score says 4-1, but it was very close. It was 2 empty net goals at the end of the night. So it was more like a 2-1 game. Very close game. 3 stars of the night went to Sagan, Oettinger, and Stankoven. Stankoven finally getting his first playoff goal of the series, or playoff goal ever for him. For me, I really thought the Stars were going to come out flying, and they did. I thought this was going to be Nathan McKinnon's breakout game, and the first period was telling me it's going to happen. I don't know how many shots he had in the first period, but it felt like he was going to get one. He was determined to get his team on the board. It just didn't work out that way. Again, Oettinger and the whole Dallas Stars team playing crazy good defense in their zone, because I have a feeling they were prepared for tonight. They knew what was going to come. And I think all they had to do was get through that first period, and things would slow down a little bit. And you can see that happening throughout the game, that if things didn't go the Avalanche way, it kind of seemed like they took a step back and were trying to figure out what was going to happen next. While Dallas just played defense, crazy good defense all night long. I mean, I don't think Dallas was unprepared for this at all. But looking at the goals, okay, we got Stankoven got on the board first, Rantanen, Seguin, and then Seguin again with empty net, and Stankoven again with another empty net, right? I'm not going to talk too much about the goals in depth. I mean, I am, but that's about as far as I'm going to break it down right now. Rantanen's goal seemed like that was like a not desperation goal, but McKinnon was determined to get to the net, and when he drove to the net, he got a shot on. Rantanen was on the back door for the tap in, and there you have it. You got your one goal. It took a while to get there, but you guys got there. Looking at the goal that got you guys, I got the Dallas Stars on the board first. Now Taze got rocked last game, and I think this might have affected him on this goal, because you will see here in a second. Let's go back a little bit. This is like last 1 minute 30 seconds left in the game, first period. Watch the breakout, the attempted breakout here. First of all, you got 5 players below the dots. Not great. Not great. It's not horrible, but it's not great. Okay, this is Taze right here. You got Seguin coming in from the point, pinching in. Watch Seguin right here and Taze right here. Now the puck is going to go past Taze, which is, it happens in a game. No big deal. But watch Seguin. He is committing to hitting Taze. Like, he's got him lined up in the sights. And luckily for Taze, he missed him. And Taze, I have a feeling he knew that hit was coming. And I think he's very aware of his body based on Jamie Benn's hit last game. So he kind of ducks out of the way. Now, I think in any other situation, if he hadn't had that thought in his head, if he even had that thought in his head, I'm just guessing here, he probably would have reached for that puck and probably chipped it towards the boards, because you can see there's one player back here. I don't even know who that is. Who is it? Doesn't matter. But yeah, you could see that he was going to pinch in and get the puck. So like, why, you would do anything you could to get that puck towards the boards, because you have an open man coming down the ice. And then you also got, again, your players are breaking on the zone. You had Nichushkin right here breaking out before he even had the puck. So it's like, you guys were they jumped the gun a little bit tonight. That's basically what I'm getting at here. I think Taze was a little aware of what was going to happen if he got that puck, or if he reached for it. Seguin was going to lay him out. That's Miro Heiskanen, that's what it was. And then he passed it to Stankoven right in the slot, for easy short side goal. So it's I think Taze being aware of what happened last game really affected this play. Granted, Nichushkin broke out of the zone a little bit earlier when Taze didn't even have the puck, so I don't know why he was breaking out yet. Anticipation was there, I get it, but that's a bad one. Not horrible. Things like that happen in a game, but Taze, I think he was hyper aware of what was about to happen to him based on his last game. I want to show you guys this one. Pay attention to this one. If you want to see a masterclass in what a professional NHL star-studded team breakout looks like, I want you to watch this one right here. This is perfect. Horrible forecheck, if I'm going to be honest, from the Colorado Avalanche, but perfect breakout from the Dallas Stars. Okay, here we go. I might just play this thing through and let you guys see. I'm going to pause it so I don't get flagged, but you'll see. Breakout up the center, because there's no... I don't know who this is right here. I don't know who that is, but he should have been backpedaling a little bit, or at least trying to pinch in and cut this pass off. Yeah, I think he did. He just did it too late. Okay. That was a perfect breakout pass from the defensive zone. Now watch. How many passes were in that whole thing? 3? 1, 2, 3. Your back checker here, Trennan. Watch him. Okay, you're breaking. This breakout happens, and you need to get back on a back check. Watch his feet. Like, he's not even moving. Like, granted, he started, but like once he had that third person support, he kind of starts gliding. But he's beat. He's beat by Seguin. Like, keep moving your feet. Granted, there's nothing he could do about it, but like, that pass might not work out. You might be in the slot for deflection or for receiving that bank pass or whatever, But that was a perfect breakout, and it resulted in a goal. Like, I just got done watching a video on Pete DeBoer talking about coaching, and maybe I'll splice the clip in right here.
Everyone talks about the difference in the NHL between early in the season or regular season and playoffs. It actually starts probably post-trade deadline down the stretch. I don't think the game changes that much. What happens is everybody dials into the details. The importance of the games go to here. The players see the finish line of the playoffs there. And all of a sudden, you've got the best players in the world are caring about every detail on the ice. D zone, neutral zone, away from the puck. That's why the game gets tougher. Yeah, it gets heavier, it gets more physical, but the detail in everybody's game goes up another level. So there's less room, less time for all those things.
But what he says in this clip is this time of year, players, they take their game up a notch. They pay attention to all the details. And all the details for this play that I just showed you worked out perfectly. I think the Colorado Avalanche, again, I think they had a plan to come out firing, and they got punched in the mouth by a defensive punch in the mouth. Dallas shut them down instantly in that first period. It didn't seem that way. I don't think because you guys didn't score, but defensively they shut down the Avalanche. And I think that threw their game plan way off. And I think players were coasting in this game, waiting for someone to do something. The Avalanche looked really flat to me halfway through the second period and then on. Like, they got their chances. Like, I'm not going to deny that. Like, they weren't completely flat, but like, Dallas came out and played defense tonight. I was waiting for Colorado to start playing offense, and it felt like it was only there for the first period, and then it had like spurts here and there. So, being the home team, you would think they would they would bring it, and they would, the details would come out in their game, and it didn't for them. It did for Pete DeBoer and his Dallas Stars team. Again, paying attention to the details, that helps. Speaking of details, I wanted to look at this because I was like, you know what? Again, talking about this game, where are the Colorado Avalanche struggling? I want to find out, like, what is their issue? Because they did have that jump in the first period, and then it kind of faded away. So I wanted to look at this series stats so far, just to see how they are, and just to see what sticks out. Obviously we know you guys have lost 2 times, won once. You got 12 goals against, 8 goals for, averaging 4 goals against. That's count the empty netters. We gotta throw them in there. Power plays at 25%, PKs at 70, shots on goal 28.7. And I was like, you know what? I know that number is low because I remember the last series. And sure enough, looking at how you guys played against the Winnipeg Jets, obviously you guys had 4 wins, goals for, goals against. Yes, we know you guys put up a good number on the most likely the Vezina winning goalie for this year. 28 goals. Goals for 5.6, goals against 3.0, power play 37.5, PK 76.9. Granted, this is one more game than what's on this, what you guys have played so far. But shots per game, 37, average 37. And right now you guys are at 28. So you guys are like almost like a full 10% lower than what you guys have done already. And that's been evident. It's well, for one, it's a recognition to how Dallas is playing. They're playing an extremely good defensive game. Other than the overtime win in game one, this has been like a very tight series so far. Dallas has played a very defensive game. We're used to that explosive offense from the Colorado Avalanche, and it just hasn't come yet. And I think Dallas is just playing really extremely good defense. Looking at the hits tonight, Colorado has thrown their body, a couple more times. But looking at Dallas Stars last series when they played against the Vegas Golden Knights out hit them by like 120 hits. And I just don't think that's part of their game. Like, they will take a hit. They will, obviously Jamie Benn will throw a hit every once in a while, but I don't think it's part of their game. And I think that might be confusing or kind of distracting a little bit. For them, it might be a little distracting to take them off their game plan to go throw a hit, when if they could just play good defense and wait for their opportunities and set up, they don't really need to throw the body. They will when it's important to, for checks, obviously, finishing your checks when you can. But as far as like throwing the body that much, I don't think it really affects Dallas that much at all. Shots is just the stat that I'm pointing out right now. I think it's just a good sign for Dallas, because Dallas is playing crazy good defense right now. Tonight was a very clear-cut sign that's what's happening. That's what's happening. Looking at all your guys' shots, I'm not going to pull it up now, but most of your shots are coming from your defensemen. It's because Dallas is clogging up the middle. That's what Vegas did to Dallas. Dallas is playing defense as a team. It's very hard to get through that. And with all the stars that you guys have, the Colorado Avalanche have, really, who rise on speed and crashing the net, and, that's going to be hard, because you got Dallas blocking crazy amount of shots. You got them clogging up the middle, and they really like to stretch the neutral zone when they're breaking out, like I just showed you. So I don't know. I for Colorado, I don't know what they got to do. They got to start playing like Florida, to be honest. Like, they really got to start crashing that net or getting in those dirty spots in front of the net. The one goal they had tonight was because they got in front of the net. So yeah, I mean, it sucks. I really want this thing to go 7. I really do. But if Colorado doesn't get their act together next game, like, Colorado likes to, for some reason, they can't start the game very well. The last 2 games, they haven't started very well. This game, they started better. They just didn't score. And then once they realize, when they're behind halfway through the third period or halfway through the second period, that's kind of when you start seeing like this dominant rush of like, we got to score a goal or we're going to lose. Like, obviously you have to do that, but like, start the game that way and don't stop until you just keep going. Dallas is just doing a really good job in stymieing that whole idea for them. Last thing, looking at the goaltending, Jake Oettinger, just amazing. Like, I can't say enough about this guy. He's worried me a little bit. He does slide out of the crease a little bit more than I'm comfortable with. I've seen him get turned around more times than I like to count, but he's still performing well. So obviously, 2.2 goals against, a 0.919 save percentage. Looking at how he played this season, he's doing better than he did the regular season. So he's only taking his game up a notch. And the team in front of him is playing really good defense, and they're blocking shots. So it's like he doesn't have to face a crazy amount of shots, like Connor Hellebuyck was in the first round against Colorado Avalanche. So it's Colorado's gonna have to figure this out. They're gonna have to really start crashing the net like hard. Like, let Nathan McKinnon just run up in there and just start throwing bows. Obviously, don't take stupid penalties, but like, this team's got to do something here. Like, it's starting to look like if Dallas just sticks to this game plan, forget it, count Colorado out. And that sucks for me, and it sucks for you guys, because I really want Colorado to at least make this a fight, so it's whatever. Looking at Georgiev, I wanted to see what his numbers looking like. Not great. Again, he's averaging 2.97 goals against, so it's called almost 3 goals against, 0.893. Looking at how he performed this season, he's kind of right on par. He's not like too far off. So it's, Colorado's not playing bad. I just don't think they know how to respond to a strong defensive team. And I think this is what's going to ultimately you just bury them if they don't get it together. Looking at the time on ice tonight, seeing how the Avalanche did. Rantanen with the most time on ice tonight. And before we even get down the list, I wanted to show you guys this thing too. This is Nathan MacKinnon's stats so far, right? 8 games, 3 goals, 9 assists, 12 points. Nothing surprising here. But I did notice tonight his time on ice. Where is it at right here? Yeah, here it is. He's kind of like, I feel like he could be used a hell of a lot more than this. Looking at the last series, he had 33, 34 shifts in the last game against Winnipeg and then the first game against Dallas, and then it kind of went back to 27, 26, averaging around almost 23, 24 minutes. Let's just call it 23 because it's actually even lower. Yeah, let's call it like 23 and a half or 22 and a half. So I'm kind of wondering, seeing these shifts right here, 33, 34, 27, 26, he's gone down in shifts. I'm kind of wondering, is there something bothering Nate? He seemed perfectly fine in the first period, and then after that, I kind of didn't really see much of him or notice him as much as I did in the first period. So I'm just kind of like, is there something wrong? It's this time of year, everyone's dealing with something, but is he dealing with something? I don't know. Yeah. So it just small observations tonight. I know I'm nerding out. I'm going deep into this and trying to think of what's really wrong. But at the end of the day, Dallas is playing a crazy good defensive game, and tonight was a huge reflection of how well that success is paying off. All right, that's it. I know I went on longer than I kind of wanted to, but there's some things in this game that I wanted to point out. Everyone wants to jump the gun. Everyone thinks it's the clear-cut answer. It's not. Dallas is playing a really, really, really good, strong defensive game against a really good team. I don't think Colorado has an answer to it yet, but I think the answer is you got to get in those dirty zones, dirty areas in the in the offensive zone. Not so much in the corners, but in front of the goaltender. Get in his face, get in his mind. Start messing with him, start poke checking him. Whatever you got to do to get under his skin, it's hard to do because he's not even facing that many shots or as many shots. So I don't know. I don't know what you guys have to do to really beat Dallas at this point. Dallas, they're nothing too sexy. They're just playing really well together. I think Colorado is a sexy team for sure. 100% they are. I've talked about this many times in my other videos about Colorado. But Dallas is that one team. I feel like they have their blinders on, their heads down, and they're just doing what they need to do. And I feel like Colorado is looking around and being like, who's going to step up? Who's going to step up? While no one was really stepping up. Let's go here. Let's get it going. So that's just my feeling on it. But yes, I'm done rambling. Thank you guys for watching. Like I said, if you're new to the channel, please consider hitting that like button. Please consider hitting that subscribe button. I appreciate it. Game 4 should be a good one. Colorado does not want to go to Dallas facing elimination. I can tell you that right now. Because if they do, Dallas is going to play even tighter defense. And it's going to be even harder. But again, if that becomes the case, do we see Nate finally break out? Do we see the Colorado Avalanche go balls to the walls and just leave it all on the table? I don't know. Whatever it is, I'm here for it. I appreciate you guys liking this video and watching this video. I will see you boys after Game 4. Peace out.